Have you ever replayed a conversation in your head, wondering if you said the wrong thing? Have you ever spent hours thinking about a decision, only to end up more confused than when you started? Or laid awake at night, imagining every possible thing that could go wrong? If so, you're not alone. Overthinking is something millions of people struggle with every day. And the strange part is, most people don't even realize they're doing it. Welcome back to Insight Vault, the place where we uncover the hidden psychology behind human behavior, relationships, and the choices that shape our lives. If you enjoy psychology, self-improvement, and understanding why people do what they do, make sure to subscribe to Insight Vault, because every story holds a lesson, and every lesson begins with a single insight. Now let's open the vault. At first glance, overthinking seems harmless. After all, thinking is a good thing. Thinking helps us learn. Thinking helps us solve problems. Thinking helps us prepare for the future. But overthinking is different. Overthinking happens when thinking stops being productive and starts becoming repetitive. Instead of finding answers, you become trapped in an endless cycle of questions. One of the biggest causes of overthinking is uncertainty. The human brain loves certainty. It wants clear answers. It wants predictable outcomes. It wants control. When life becomes uncertain, the brain starts searching for solutions. Imagine waiting for an important text message. Hours pass, no response. Suddenly your mind starts creating stories. Maybe they're upset. Maybe I said something wrong. Maybe they don't like me anymore. The truth is, you don't know. But uncertainty feels uncomfortable. So your brain tries to fill in the blanks. The problem is that the stories we create are often based on fear, not facts. Overthinking tends to focus on worst-case scenarios. What if I fail? What if they reject me? What if something goes wrong? The brain believes it's protecting you. It's trying to prepare you for danger. But in reality, it's often creating stress that doesn't need to exist. Another reason people overthink is fear of making mistakes. Many people believe that if they analyze something long enough, they'll eventually discover the perfect answer, the perfect decision, the perfect outcome. But life rarely works that way. There is no perfect choice, and there is no perfect path. There is only the decision you make and what you choose to do afterward. The search for perfection often becomes a trap. The more you think, the harder it becomes to act. This leads to something psychologists often call analysis paralysis. The inability to make a decision because you're overwhelmed by possibilities. You weigh every option, consider every outcome, and analyze every risk, until eventually, you do nothing at all. The fear of making the wrong choice becomes greater than the desire to move forward. At Insight Vault, we believe one of the biggest myths about overthinking is that it only affects anxious people. In reality, many overthinkers are highly intelligent. They're observant, they're thoughtful, they're self-aware. They notice details others miss. The problem isn't that they think too little. The problem is that they never give their minds permission to rest. Overthinking also has a close relationship with self-doubt. When you trust yourself, you make decisions and move forward. When self-doubt appears, everything becomes more complicated. You start questioning yourself. Did I make the right choice? Did I say the right thing? What if people judge me? What if I fail? Every answer creates another question, and every question creates another layer of doubt. Perhaps the most frustrating part of overthinking is that it feels productive. You feel like you're working on a problem. You feel like you're making progress, but often you're simply repeating the same thoughts over and over again. It's like sitting in a rocking chair. There's plenty of movement, but you never actually go anywhere. Another hidden danger of overthinking is how much energy it consumes. Mental energy, emotional energy, even physical energy. The more time you spend worrying about things you cannot control, the less energy you have for the things you can control. Your goals, your relationships, your personal growth, your happiness. The psychology of overthinking teaches us something important. The brain is designed to keep us safe, not necessarily happy. When it senses uncertainty, it starts scanning for threats. It imagines problems. It predicts danger. It prepares for worst-case scenarios. Thousands of years ago, this helped humans survive. But in modern life, that same survival mechanism can sometimes work against us. So what can you do? Start by recognizing that not every thought deserves your attention. Just because a thought enters your mind doesn't mean it's true. 圈圈圆圆圈圈，天天年年天天的我深深。Assumptions are stories. Many overthinkers spend more time worrying about stories than reality. Remember this: you cannot control everything. You cannot predict every outcome. You cannot eliminate every risk. And that's okay, because growth doesn't come from certainty. Growth comes from action. It comes from moving forward despite uncertainty. The next time you catch yourself overthinking, pause, take a breath, and ask yourself one simple question. Am I solving a problem, or am I repeating a fear? That question alone can change everything. Because at the end of the day, overthinking isn't really about thinking. It's about fear. Fear of uncertainty, or fear of failure, fear of regret. And once you understand that, you can begin to break free from it. What do you think? Do you struggle with overthinking? What causes you to overthink the most? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Here at Insight Vault, we read every comment and love hearing your experiences. And if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Your support helps Insight Vault continue exploring the fascinating psychology behind human behavior. Thank you for watching, because every story holds a lesson, and every lesson begins with a single insight. We'll see you in the next video.